Hello. Hey, everybody. This is Wendy Lou on Parenting Through Ascension. If you're here, duh, you know that, right? So I was just out kind of having a day to myself, which I try to do regularly with 4 kids, and felt compelled to do this video. I've been thinking about it for a few days because, well, I'll start with kind of where the idea began is if you don't know, I am part of a collaboration of Lightworkers called Empath Ritual, where we each bring a different and unique skill and gift to a multisensory monthly meditation that we provide for a paid community on Circle. I'm going to link that community information about it below. The link will take you to like a sample page with information on what the page is about, and then a link to join if you so desire. But it is I provide the energetic forecast, I provide the essential oil recipe, and I actually, create the whole post. I bring everybody's information together and then make the post all pretty. So, yeah, and so I was tuning into March because we're already starting to work on March's meditation, because we put them out, we try to get them out by the 1st of the month. The 1st at the latest. I try to get it done the day before or even earlier if possible. Because, you know, the energies are not adhering to a Gregorian calendar, right? How dare they? They're not really, I'm getting cold. They don't care what the date on the calendar is. So, but what I was tuning into for March was that Lightworkers in a big way are going to start removing themselves from truther groups, kind of the truther movement in general. If you don't know what I'm talking about, it's going to be like the people that we used to refer to as conspiracy theorists, right? Like clearly, as a whole, in general, so many of the things that were considered conspiracy theories have shown to be true. And so, you know, we don't really use that term anymore. I consider myself what used to be called a conspiracy theorist, but now we're, you know, and they've been using that term for years, but truther is what the term is. And it really is just trying to bring awareness to what's really going on in the world politically, with governments, with laws, with kind of agendas, okay? With dark agendas. And so what I saw for March was Lightworkers, those of us who've done this before, right? And are back to help with this ascension process for humanity. We are going to be pulling away from that. And here's why. It is a distraction. Our mission is already a higher vibration than that energy. Okay. The energy of the truther movement is, even though it's beautiful and it serves a purpose, and many will stay, and they'll stay as long as they need to stay until we don't need it anymore, right? But it's for humanity to come into those groups now as they start waking up. We started the awareness. A lot of us, you know, began any groups on Facebook or Insta or wherever, YouTube, wherever you're at, whatever you are pulled to. Likely a Lightworker started that group eventually at some point, right? And so yeah, I think we started it, we stay in it as long as it serves us, and then we have to transcend that, because we're really preparing in a big way now. And I feel like I'm rolling my eyes at myself because of what I'm going to say, because I feel like we've been saying it for years, but we are arriving at the doorstep of our true mission now, okay? So here we are, here we go. And we cannot still be entrenched in the divisiveness, okay? In the division. And the groups, although they're doing a beautiful thing, they are still part of this separation energy, us versus them, right? And yes, there still is a them. There still is a they, okay? I get it. There still is a dark group, a dark cabal, whatever you want to call it. But it is, I hope they don't flag me for that one word. Come on. But Lightworker, we are supposed to be the forerunners. We're supposed to be in front of everybody else, okay? And we always will be. In this lifetime, the regulars, the wonderful, sweet human souls that are here doing this for the first time are not going to catch up to us, okay? Because we are the volunteers. We are the ground crew. All right, we're the teachers, we're the guides. Yes, they will become teachers and guides in this lifetime, but they're not going to ever catch up to us energetically because of who we are and what we are. But anyway, so they will start coming into those groups more and more, and they'll take over, and they need to. Okay, because as they start seeing the truth, that is really going to bring on the full awakening of everybody on the planet. Everybody else who's been resistant, they either need to go, they either need to take the next doorway out, or they're going to wake up. Okay, but the reason that we need to leave en masse, really, and obviously only if this resonates. If it doesn't resonate with you, then you need to be in there for a while longer. What I'm saying is, and of course I'm saying this for March, so we're not there yet. But what I'm saying is that beginning in March, we're going to see a lot of light workers going, I cannot be in that energy anymore. Okay, because it is in the old energy of us versus them. So we're going to be pulling out. So I started to, when I was thinking about it, when I was just kind of tuning into that energy of it, what I realized was that if that's true, think about it from a different perspective. If we don't need to even be part of these groups anymore, then what if, at least as a light worker, what if we don't even really need to know the truth? Okay, and what I mean by that is we have all the truth that we need within, right? Like the truth, all we need to know is that we are love, we came here to help. Tune into our own individual missions and any collaborative missions you may have, any joint missions, and focus on that. And I even had a client the other day, and she's like, well, I just keep focusing on being more spiritual. And I said, well, your guides are saying that that's not what you're supposed to be focusing on. Stop doing that. Stop focusing on trying to be more spiritual and focus on what you're doing here. What the fuck are you doing here? Focus on that. Tune into that. Tune into your own heart. And because we are spiritual beings, it's going to be, I don't even want to say a byproduct, because it's really just a peeling away of the layers of the trauma of the 3D, where we uncover our true core spirituality. We are spiritual beings. So don't focus on trying to be more spiritual. Focus on finding your mission and growing your own and expanding your own heart space and soul. Okay, so that your soul can come into your body more and fill more of the space. Okay, as we heal, as we release trauma and baggage and blocks and ancestral crap and all this other stuff, we make more room for our soul to expand. And so that's hence the title, what if we don't need to know the truth? What if the whole point of us pulling away from the truth or movement is because we are going to start realizing we don't give a shit. We don't need to know the truth about what's going on in all the countries and all the governments and in all the politics, even in America, because most of my subscribers are here. But we don't need to know all the ins and outs and details of exactly what the bad guys have been doing all this time, okay? So that is really for humanity to decide at what point is the disclosure that has already happened going to be enough for them to wake up. Because really the point is the awakening, right? So let's say everybody wakes up tomorrow. Are we still going to give a shit about exactly what certain people did? And here's a big one. Here's a big thing about this is we have to let go of needing to punish these people, okay? Boy, do I get backlash when I say this, especially in person to people. I have been attacked, verbally, when I say these things. No, child molesters need to have their dicks cut off and all this shit. I'm like, you know what? I get it. I used to be there. I actually was molested as a child. In fact, I think most of us did not get out of childhood unscathed. Right? And even though I had wonderful loving parents, I have wonderful loving siblings, I had a very stable childhood, I was molested by a neighbor. Okay, so everybody has their thing, right? When you forgive everybody for the path they chose, when you realize you're not a victim, and not only are you not a victim, you've never been a victim, even when you were a little baby, and somebody touched you in you were not a victim. That is an experience that both of those souls chose. And I know this is hard for a lot of people to hear. You chose it. Yes, the 8-month-old baby. You know why? Because your soul is not 8 months old. Your soul is 8 million years old. Okay. Your soul chose that experience. Okay. So, I wasn't 8 months old, but, I was much older, but it was, the important thing is until we can let go, until you can let go of needing to punish these people, you're not going to be able to pull away from from that movement. Okay. And whether you resonate with the term truther or not, if you're in a place where you're sharing, what you feel is true, but it is stuff about a certain bacteria, we'll say, a certain, I've been calling it the bug, and then the bug spray, which, you know, the bug spray is a big topic too. I can't say the words because I have a small enough audience the way it is. I don't need to be flagged for certain words. But hopefully you know what I'm talking about. The big thing that's going on right now, right? And then the cure for it. And so, you know, if you're still out there sharing and you're angry at these people for what they did, for whether or not they created it, whether or not they intended to do for all of this to happen. And you know my opinion, because I'm pretty sure I've said it in other videos, but I am pulling away from this. Okay. And it's because I can't be angry anymore. I can't find the hate in me anymore because I have reached that point in my spiritual journey. I just don't have it in there anymore for even the worst of the worst, like a certain pantsuit woman, right? Even the worst of the worst, I cannot hate anymore. So we have to let go of that. And then once you let go of it, you'll be able to remove yourself from the movement completely, because your mission transcends this. I promise you. If you're listening to this video, your mission is not, well, I shouldn't say that. I'm not here to tell you what your mission is. I know many light workers are meant to be in the muck for a while longer. Okay. So if this doesn't resonate, wonderful. You know your heart. Okay. Only you know what you're doing here. Cause I know I have very close friends who are like, no, I feel like I need to be in the muck, in the trenches, in the ditch yet for a while with the humans, with the, the humans that are going through this for the first time. And so, and that's fine. It's not like I'm abandoning them. I just think that my mission is going to be more, well, and I don't even want to say more for other light workers, because that's not exactly true either. But, the people who, will be drawn to my services are going to be drawn to my services no matter where they are. But it is going to be like, I definitely don't feel like my audience is newly awakened humans, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Like brand new, like yesterday they were towing the line. Yesterday they were, the government loves us, the government wants us to be safe and healthy. And today all of a sudden they're like, wait a minute, that's not my audience. Okay. And so I think if you resonate with that, if you agree with me and you feel like that's you as well, then we're going to be the ones coming into March, and I'm already feeling it for myself, pulling away completely from that device, right? That separation device, that us versus them part of the matrix. Okay. That is really the last thing that we are being asked to let go of. Now, they are going to linger for a little while, but they've already been stripped of all their power. Okay. What's lingering is us holding on, I say us because there is no us versus them, right? But is humanity holding on to what we knew, which is the old energy, the old matrix, where we felt safer, right? We felt cared for. We believed the government loved us, and everybody in it loved us and really wanted us they want to, in a way, they wanted us to be safe, but they didn't want us to thrive and to really succeed in life. Okay. In general, I'm not saying everybody in the government. Obviously, we know who, for the most part, we know who the culprits are. But again, we have to let go of, and I'm not saying they're not going to get their due, right? I'm not saying that they shouldn't be maybe put on trial or whatever. What I'm saying is, if you're feeling like you need to pull away from it, there's a reason for that. Your mission is not down in in that energy. Okay, your mission is already above that. Before you were even born, your mission transcended that energy, and you just had to get to a point where you were ready to step out of that. Okay, to step out of the muck. So forgive me, I actually have some notes. I didn't want to forget anything. So what if we can just let go of disclosure as light workers and focus on our own journeys? And what that means is, so I'm not saying, and I don't care what side of the fence you're on, if you're on one side or the other. I really am in a very neutral place, but I'm not saying wear the mask. I'm not saying don't wear the mask. I'm saying do what you feel comfortable doing, and ignore any perceived mandates or rules that are not comfortable for you. Okay, and go about your life with the energy that you're just not part of that reality. Okay, not with if you're going into Home Depot, not wearing the mask in places that still require them. We just drove from Colorado to South Carolina, you guys, and I didn't have to put a mask on once. A lot of states are just done with it. But if you are still in a place where masks are required, but like you literally will not be allowed in the place without it. But you go in with, and how many places are enforcing it anymore, right? But if you go in without that mask with the kind of come at me bro energy, I've done a video on this already, then you are going to receive confrontation. And you have gone in looking for it. And that is us versus them energy. That is old energy, and that is not serving us anymore. Okay? So you can get on with your life. I promise you, you can set an intention to be invisible to anyone who would confront you in a negative way. And they won't even see you when you're doing your shopping or whatever. You can. I promise you can do this. We can exist, okay? And there's also, if you have to, have your groceries delivered. Pick up Walmart even does pickup. Come on, just pull up and you don't have to put a mask on at all, okay? So there are ways, what I'm saying is there are ways to live our lives where we're not doing anything that we're not comfortable with anymore, because energetically we've just transcended it, without, and still pull out of that divisiveness, okay? We already know all the truths we need to know. Yeah, we don't need, for me, I'm like, I just don't care. I think about some people have done just really diabolical things. Their path, right? I'm not saying it's okay. What I'm saying is and I'm not even saying karmically they're going to get theirs, right? They're going to choose likely to balance that karma in some way. Their souls will choose that. Or they're going to choose, this is my understanding, and if this is too far down the rabbit hole for you, that's okay. But I've been following Corey Goode and David Wilcock for years. Actually, Corey Goode I've pulled away from quite a bit. David Wilcock I still very much believe in, and his message. And just listening to him, and he had said one time, this resonated with me, is these people who are being now held captive, these people who are being apprehended, who are the worst of the worst, are being given a choice of turn toward the light, which, in 3D terms might be, help us, give us names, help us take down the system, but turn toward the light, start doing things for the good of your soul, or you will be basically reintegrated into source. Their soul as it is will no longer exist. And so that will be the end of that soul's journey. Okay. And they chose to end it in a very dark place, and that's fine. Once you rejoin source, that's all gone. Okay. You're love and light again. And everything is of the light. Everything is working for the light. Everything is for our ascension and evolution. Everything. Okay. So just get that out of your head, the us versus them, but they're doing it wrong. Nobody's doing anything wrong. Nobody's doing anything incorrect is what I mean, okay? Right, definitely these things are, there's a lot of, it's sad, it's traumatic, it's devastating, it's regrettable, and that's a very mild word, right? But it's awful, the things that have been done to children, the things that, and we want it to stop. What we need to do is help these children heal. First of all, save them all. Help these children heal. And again, I'm not saying, I feel like there's a certain group of people that need to be in charge of the retribution for these people I'm just not going to be one of those people. I don't wish ill upon them. And I know that sounds crazy. These people are murderers. These people are awful, awful, of the worst kind, murdering children and then, consuming certain things. And I don't want to go down this rabbit hole. I didn't intend to talk about this, but I'm trying to say that I'm not condoning this behavior at all. What I'm saying is they've been doing this for thousands of years, and it is coming to an end, okay? And as long as we wish them pain, we cannot transcend the divisiveness, the us versus them, okay? So and the only way to do that is work on you. And the only way to work on you, to truly, really focus on you, is to remove yourself from all these groups, all these like-minded groups that are, talking about cutting people's body parts off because of the things they did, or torturing them or punishing them, okay? You can't have that in your energy. That is hindering your growth, okay? So let's see what else. Oh, and I was listening to, it was interesting too, I was listening to someone, I don't want to say who because I don't want to be flagged, but talking about this, full disclosure failed. I completely and totally and 1,000% disagree with that it failed. It did not fail. Full disclosure is already within. Full disclosure is consciousness, okay? Is the expansion of consciousness. Nothing failed. The reason that they're that's fear porn, okay? Don't buy into that. The old structures are crumbling. Nothing can stop that now. Nothing can stop that from happening. Okay, but we need to focus on consciousness now. And again, if this doesn't resonate with you, great. I don't care. Leave me hateful comments, but just move along, okay? This message isn't for you, clearly. This is also 2022, year of the 6. 6 is letting the old die. Guess what's happening this year? The old is going to die. It's already dying. The old we're finally going to let go of it this year, okay? And then, a lot of people are saying by 2025, we're really going to be starting to build the new world. I think that's beautiful. It feels like forever away, but it really is very, very soon, okay? Yeah. The universe always finds a way to balance itself, okay? That's why we don't need to worry about, we've always played God in a way, in a negative way that keeps us low vibration, where we're judging everybody else for what they've done, okay? Let the universe take care of it, right? Honestly, I can say that. I don't know what that means. What I'm saying is there are people who are going to be in that energy still, they're probably needed to bring these people to, we say bring them to justice, but really to just kind of get them off the streets, right? Like we need them out of the way now. But it's not, it's not about hanging them at on the gallows or anything like that. So let's see. I think that's all I wanted to say about that. I hope it made sense. Because I wrote, what if hating them and wanting to punish them is exactly the energy they want us to be in right now? Because they know they're losing. What if that's all they've got left? Is because they feed off of our fear and our hatred, okay? And hatred, there are only two things, you guys, fear and love. So anything that we perceive as negative, hatred, anger, that's all from fear. We hate them because we're afraid, okay? We're afraid of what they've done, what they could do, that they could take over again, that they could, anything. That's why we hate them. But what if that's exactly what they want? If you think of it that way, maybe you can, okay, then I need to forgive them because we don't want them to win. But if that's how you can bring about the shift, then more power to you, because I'm pretty sure that's how I did it. I'm like, well, I don't want them feeding off my hate, even if it's hatred for them. So I'm going to heal that. I'm going to heal that hatred so they don't get any food from me. And then all of a sudden I realized I don't even wish punishment on them. Okay? They feed on fear. What if we just ignore them? What if we just let the 3D part that's still standing, right? The court system, whatever, the tribunals, because they're going through tribunals of, crimes against humanity. If you're not a direct part of that, pull away from it. It's happening. They can't stop it anymore, okay? We've chosen our timeline. We've chosen it. And it is not AI control prison planet. It's not. It's just not. So I hope this helped. I hope it made sense. Let me know what you think. Share. like, subscribe. If you know anybody who might benefit from my messages, I would love, I would love to build this channel. I don't know, YouTube, for as long as YouTube is around, I'm going to try and utilize it for good, right? We need to hijack it and infuse it with positive energy, okay? With the energy of ascension versus the old energy that's dying this year, okay? So that's my message for today. I love you all. Thank you so much, and I will see you next time.